Okay, based on what I see, like Stanford University, they're kind of like all those people attacking some stories to us. They're not honest. Nothing is clear. Not sure what's going on. What is that all about? All that exploring the internet, web and all that. Some even believe they don't need to listen all the CEOs because they don't show some kind of credibility, I guess. What do I think? How to look, how to judge? Well, I can tell you this way. Stanford had books about internet, historical internet. I've seen the same kind of information. If you look at Columbia University, they have legal some kind of documents that internet started in Russian army, whatever, 60s or whatever, long time ago. So anyone is talking about internet, like they come to you, they talk about internet. Either they're repeaters of someone's game or they belong to the game, because it's not internet. Like Bill Gates, internet changed the world. It's not internet changed the world. He's talking completely nonsense. And not only him, many other ones. Internet changed the world. Now, if you look at Columbia University books or documents, so it started in the Russian army. MIT had certain network configuration, and I think Stanford had the same network configuration for that very old internet. Now, when somebody is making statement, internet changed the world, if you check the network configuration of today, it's not the same. It's completely different. But legally, actually, you cannot transform network configuration. If it's a different network configuration, it should be a different name. If you talk to networking attorney or judges, they would say if it's a new different network configuration, it is a new different network configuration. You don't call it by old name. So basically what happened, it's not internet changed the world. Internet, if you count that old way, it was, and it's still the same, and nobody's using that. Nobody's using it. What changed the world is my thinking in '92, and I came to a certain system for exploring from home, and later I added small businesses or other businesses can be connected to. So I came to a system that everyone can explore. It's a different network configuration completely. I don't connect to other user. In case of internet, it goes to other user. In my way, I don't connect anything to other user. Like from my house, it doesn't go to other house. So if you want to leave a message, you don't leave message on his computer. My way is I have a system and build up between the users. Some might say client server. It's not exactly client server, and it's not a star network. Client server is like for shorter distance. and Star Network considered is for longer distance. But I don't have Star Network. I don't have client server. I have a custom network. But Star Network does not have wireless short one or long one. Doesn't have international network. Doesn't have provider hubs, whatever. That's all my custom network, specifically made for my Explorer. It's not internet. It's not internet change the world. But as soon as you see like providers, some kind of external system, apps download, that's my system. That's my custom way to change the world, not the internet. It's my system and intellectual property that change the world. Because I came to a certain system, people can explore from home. Now, if somebody is talking there at suppose Stanford or any D school, Stanford or anywhere, San Jose University. If you talk about the internet, but based on books, it should be like from Army, right? Legally, if it belongs to Army, then Army would have rights to continue updating that internet or have new development. Or Army would have an agreement with particular person working for that Russian Army to update that internet. Whatever, you know what I mean. So it would be like a continuation of internet. Now in my case, I did not continue anything. First of all, I never worked at Russian Army Internet Division, and I never had any agreements to transform, update, change, bring up to certain level, whatever, their internet. So I had no really interest in dealing with Russian Army and working on internet, because Russian Army is not working on civilian projects. In general, Russian Army is not supposed to work on anything civilian. So even if they say started in the Russian Army, why do I need to work with Russian Army? So suppose I am a civilian person, I would need to contact Russian Army. I never did contact Russian Army. I never did work there. I never transformed nothing. I came to that in Minnesota because in '91 I was in Manhattan and I've seen AOL, but after talking to minivan guy, I guess he's technician, I kind of realized certain things for myself, but later I came to my own system. Because in Minnesota, I did not see AOL, and no computer stores were allowing to explore anything. I could not access AOL in Minnesota. And also from home. Nothing was from home. Not only in my house, because I had a house, like we had agreement for the house. My neighbor house, any other house, they didn't have anything to explore. They could not be connected to AOL or anything else. So I came to my system in certain network, in certain ways that changed the world. That's why people started to communicate and explore. Not because of internet. I have nothing to do with internet, but because of my system and exploring. And somebody gave internet name which belongs to Russian Army to my intellectual property, which is on Minnesota land. And Minnesota had no anything going with the Russian internet. I did not work in Minnesota on some kind of Russian Army internet. In fact, that church, I was in a house and it belonged to Lutheran Church, I believe, American Lutheran Church. that American Lutheran Church had a house. It was like a property of American Lutheran Church, and they had a house, and I came to that system exploring on that property, which is belonging to American Lutheran Church house. They had nothing to do with Russian internet, zero. No Russian army, no Russian soldiers, generals, anyone, had zero. So I came to that over there. And my system exploring is actually substantially different to internet. So when they come and talk about internet, it just somebody gives the name. They stick the name to my intellectual property, which is allowing people to do things. It's my intellectual property of that new system and custom network that changed the world, not the internet. Internet was dead and pretty much dead. Nobody's using the internet. Now they give another name, web. Web never came to the tool. You can ask Tim Berners-Lee. He never came to the network configuration. Many software decisions, many things. So you can basically consider for yourself like this. We're always talking about the internet, but we have in our books internet like that. They're not using that, so it's not internet. You can kind of separate. Now, what's web? Web had 10 billions, and network configuration is pretty much cable between billions. And now, when you submit signal, it doesn't go to those billions. It goes to a completely different system, and it goes to like under the ocean. That's not web's network configuration, and not web's, most of it, not web's decision for software engineering. Because in order to program, you need to come to something. That's not web's. You can ask Tim Berners-Lee. He never came to Amazon, eBay, Netflix, YouTube, search engine like Google or Bing, email, design thinking, chat. You know, I had many cars, real estate. I had many things. Craigslist. That's not web's design thinking or software engineering before the programming. So I did not belong to web. You cannot call it web. What's web? You can ask web, whatever, packets or whatever, just a way. Because before you program, you need to decide. Before you transfer through the certain channels, you need to decide something, what they're gonna access. They're accessing my software decisions, my intellectual property. And somebody stick name web or internet. That's a wrong statement. That's illegal use of my intellectual property. What you cannot figure out, it's illegal use of my intellectual property. And then some people have questioned why those political people come to schools or come to what they will have to do with it. The company have to come. Why is somebody from like Google or from other company talking to some politicians, and then they walk around university trying to talk kind of for them, resolve for them who they are? I can tell you who they are. I came to system. I came to many decisions. And for me it was interesting. An opinion, like design thinking. You ask for opinion. My ex-wife Olga, I did ask for many, I did explain her, and I wanted to know her opinion. So she knew about my system and design thinking and software engineering decisions before the programming and my network and everything. I was just asking to get her opinion. But then it was in 92, but in 93 we got divorced, and she went to, I don't know exactly, Moscow, and then Ukraine, Germany, somewhere there. Eastern Europe / Germany, probably Eastern Germany. So she talked about all this. She talked about all mine. But their brain doesn't work right. In legal way, their brain didn't work right. They put up all kind of stupid papers, legal papers, basically to implement, because I'm not there, to implement, look like I'm allowing this or this. So they want to implement and get the money, but I'm not there. So they were putting all kind of papers, look like I am okay, this and this, but I wasn't there. That is all illegal papers. So that Olga, because she was talking to different people and politicians, those politicians are talking there, be it Stanford or the companies, because she made up look like we're still married, look like it's my wish or whatever. But we were divorced. She's not supposed to do that. And they're talking, those politicians, if they talk about my intellectual property, they would need to talk to me, but they don't. They talk to ex-wife and they implement, that's illegal implementation. Because they cannot implement mine without me. So they implemented, and someone need my signature, this, they made up. So it went through. Look like I'm okay. But I'm telling that's legal papers. So all those politicians, they belong to her because she found. And they talk for companies or this or that. Because in their mind, it's okay, but it's not. I did not talk to them. They're listening stories of my ex-wife. So, like suppose somebody at Stanford told his wife about his software engineering decisions and then got divorced, and she want to make money. She doesn't like to work. She's telling other people, suppose politicians, but at some point some documents required, so she made up here and there, look like I'm okay, or husband, whatever. And it went through. They started to go and talk. And that guy would be like, what the hell is this? They implemented mine without talking to me. That's what I had. That's what I have. That's what you have if somebody is coming to Stanford. That's who you have. You ask, okay, you talk to Olga. Who from you talk to Olga? You will see some German or Eastern Europe. Yeah, you talk. You talk to her, but how about his husband? Actually, ex-husband, more correct. Husband. Why you talk to her always, not to her husband? Or ex-husband, more correct. You see? They put up some kind of stupid way, look like whatever she's saying, they can do. It's illegal use, I'm telling you. Because they would need to talk to husband or ex-husband. But they made up papers look like okay to do. And somebody approved it. I'm telling you, they approved corruption. If my house approved it, they approved corruption. That was not my wish. Politicians talk for me and talk to companies. That was not my wish. They made up. Look like I'm okay. I'm not even there. They made up overseas. Look like I'm okay. This and that. That's it. Just to get the money. But it's all legal papers. And anything they represent or ask, that's corruption. Because it's not my people. It's ex-wife want to make money, talk to politicians. And they made up look like I'm okay, this and that. But legally, they had to ask me, not her. But I'm not there, so they make it up. Look like I'm okay, this and this. Busy, whatever they tell stories. Sick or whatever. So, at the end, they're walking and talking, but they shouldn't. If you ask, if you tell, you walk, talk, okay, who found from Olga? Okay. How about husband? We didn't talk. Why? He's not around. He's not around. And why on papers it says he's okay? What do you have to prove? Did you see him? No. But on paper says he is okay. That's her wrote he's okay, but you didn't see, you don't know. How about his attorney? Do you have? No. So that's a fraudulent paper. You cannot verify anything, and you walk in. So anyone is writing some kind of fraud, you're gonna walk around. Well, if you get arrested, that's your problem. You have to check. I'm telling you, in the United States, many ladies want to steal a house, property, bank accounts, insurance. Some even kill to get life insurance money. You don't need to listen all that. You need to verify. So you wanna be legal, then based on Stanford School, companies dealing with talent of the company. So if Google sitting there and then politicians come and talk for Google, the company is dealing with talent of company. Your question should be, why politician came? You should come. Because they know talent. Then we need talent. I don't know, I'm not sure. Why you deal with politicians, not the talent? You need to talk to talent or the company, not politicians. Why you don't talk to talent? The answer, they know, blah, 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 blah. But you need to deal with the talent of the company, not the politician. We need the talent. What they say. So you are not dealing with talent of the company, you're dealing with politicians or politicians. We want to know if the talent talk to politicians. Maybe they're talking about the legal use, the corruption. Why do we need to talk to them? They didn't talk to him, and they just found and come and want to take advantage. Why do we need to work for them? Why do we need to answer any questions? Very simple. So you Google, bring us talent of that company. Because it does not belong to politicians. Or from its ex-wife, blah, blah. Yeah, ex-wife, but so where's the husband? We need that husband or ex-husband. He not come, but we need his phone, we need contact number, come to American embassy, whatever. There are many places. People go and those nomads talking everywhere. We just need to see him, we need to verify, we need to talk. They will start to hide. The reason why they hide, because they used to legally. Because for them to implement my intellectual property, they need to come to me, but they're lazy or don't know, so they made up look like I allow. But if somebody want to verify, it will come with, I never did allow. It's all illegal papers, fake papers. They make paper overseas, and I'm in United States. So any papers over there should be under investigation for fraud because I'm here, I'm not there. Somebody made up. It is Olga made up. Any signature say wife and she signed, it's intentional fraud because she's divorced. If I am allowing, that's another fraud. I am here, they make paper over there, I'm allowing. Another paper, I want to send money compensation to her because she's wife. That's another fraud. She's divorced. I don't like to make any compensation going to her where it is made. Overseas. I'm here, they make overseas. So what it is, illegal use and twisting. Trying to get money to her account or maybe the whole group. And why they walk around? Because it is her people believing in some kind of nonsense and they're trying to implement, take advantage. It's like suppose Bentley and they have new project and she suppose lady found like her and then she want to take advantage. She got divorced, for instance, want to get advantage. And she just found people, repeated that project, but for them to pass through, to get approved, it should be kind of agreement. So they made up that agreement, look like he's okay, and they go and implement Bentley's project. But it's illegal, I'm telling you, that's fraud, and it's illegal, and they are working with illegal implementation, and it's called intellectual property violation. That's what it is. You can stop them if you really want. You can stop them. Just ask, is that you or not? No. Came from Olga, yes. But we need the person. Just because his ex-wife is telling you're not supposed to go and implement, that's illegal use. Can we see proof that he's getting compensation? We want to see how great your management is. They don't have any proof, so that's just enrichment. Oh, it's internet, but you don't talk to Russian army. You talk to this lady that she found from his husband in Minnesota. You don't talk about Russian army, some kind of people. So you need to stop talking about the internet, web. You didn't find from the web. You found from Olga. Olga and Tim Berners-Lee, they are completely two different countries and language and life. So he is not responsible for things you are trying to talk about, because you found from Olga, not Tim Berners-Lee, not from the Russian army. That's how you can pretty much talk. Now, there is a second group, be it at Stanford, Harvard. I mean, from what I see, like there is a second group, or any other university. They say look like they want to talk to those companies' CEOs, how they started the company. Basically, in minds of university people, they have what they call a case scenario. A normal case scenario of CEO, he was working on something, he came to that, and step by step, it started to be like that or like that. So like suppose in case of Panasonic, he started to work on, I believe, a bulb, like a light bulb or something. Work, made certain thing, and then he started to work on something else and try to be innovative, this and that. And then basically later it's a company. So they want to talk to CEOs, basically based on normal thinking, look like they started from scratch. But in reality, many companies did not start from scratch. And that second group of people, they think this company kind of dishonest or unfriendly or something abnormal, too busy or something, and they cannot figure out why like this. I can tell you why. Because many of those companies did not start from scratch. Many of those companies are illegal users of intellectual property belonging to someone else. So for them to talk about starting from scratch, they would need to lie that he's starting from scratch, it is his decisions or her decisions. In reality, they had people, so my ex-wife talked to people, and those people talk to other people who open companies. So for company, they would need to disclose about those working people and everything. But those working people telling people they might don't like that fact. They might like to stay in the shade. Or I don't know, any reasons, whatever reasons they have. So basically for them to talk about starting from scratch is like very hard, because they didn't. And they believed, look like those talking, those political people, they thought they're legal, or they have a guy and all legal. But at the same time, it's kind of like nobody should talk or whatever. All should be hidden. The truth is, my ex-wife wanted to make money, and she made up as wife. She did talk about my intellectual property, you know, because I had many software decisions. Because I came to that exploring not only for the network, but for software decisions, what people will explore. So she was telling that, and at some point they got approved without me, so it's basically forgery, somewhere forgery or fraud. How can you get approved mine without me? They did, but they want to suppress that, probably don't investigate much. So to me, they were telling companies don't talk too much. Basically, they don't want anyone digging illegal beginning. Number one crook would be Olga, and probably some of your people, if they knew. So because it's not there, they would need to say it's not there. But then on the other hand, those were telling don't talk, so we don't talk. So basically at university, they cannot talk about the beginning because it's not their beginning. Because that software engineering decisions, like for eBay, Amazon, YouTube, it's not their decisions, my decisions. They're programming. Well, they added some, but to add, it was for me to add. I even told Olga that I will add later, because for me it was important that when you do software engineering, you have all those decision structures, and then you make smaller decision, and then you program. So I told Olga smaller decisions I will do later. So they were talking to different people. They implemented mine. So instead of me, they made small decisions. I never asked you to do that. I never asked you to implement and do it. So basically, she was greedy for money, doesn't like to work, like many of those bitches of that area. They want huge money for nothing. A lot of those bitches are like this. They want huge money for nothing. Look like shit. They are like Miss Universe. They are not Miss Universe. Some look like ugly shit, some kind of ugly bitch. And then one money look like she's Miss Universe. Even more money than Miss Universe. Yeah, just some kind of brain all screwed up. Lazy, want big money by tricks, by fraud, forgery. Basically criminal brains. Want to get rich quick by tricks and hoping to get away. You know, like Enron, they had certain kind of tricks like that. There are some, not only ladies, men too, in Eastern Europe or Europe. They want like this too. Before even corporations, before big corporations, before big companies, They don't need to be inside of a big company to tweak things. They tweak before even. So basically that Olga was tweaking here and there, illegal papers here and there, signatures, whatever. And then my intellectual property, which is software decisions, they were telling to implement, to program. That's why the CEOs cannot talk, because it's not their software decisions. They added here and there and program, but it's not, they didn't start from scratch, so what to talk about? It's like in case of Panasonic, suppose not him doing from scratch something, but some politician came, he got from God knows where, he want him to implement, he would agree. You see, in Japan, that would be very fishy. That is dangerous game. If somebody would know, invest into that business, no, that's a dishonest, illegal business. It's not your. Why you didn't talk about that long time? Because he said, because she said, because he won. Bullshit. I'm here, they keep making up all kind of stories, look like me over there. Just check my records. Insurance, job, many records. I'm here, and they keep making there. And nobody's checking, and somebody's approving. That's illegal. So, suppose some people know it's illegal, they probably, in addition to everything, they keep telling, keep silent. So, as a result, they cannot talk. That's why you feel they're kind of dishonest, because somebody is advising or telling. Number one crook would be Olga. She knows she's illegal, but she doesn't like people to dig too much all that. So she's turning to little talk, personal, no need talking, or this or private. Just any kind of story, just don't dig too much all her stupid business. Because all she was doing, illegal business. She wants money, but she doesn't want people to dig about the truth. So they implement it. But honestly, American trading is very weak for shares and for everything, very weak. So what they did is, they didn't ask a lot of questions. And I can tell you, the copyrights are illegal. I did not allow to copyright mine and use mine. That's illegal. Somebody made up, it's legal. And then at the trading, they didn't ask a lot of questions concerning the beginning, and somehow they started to trade. And now when CEOs ask about the beginning, they don't want to talk. They don't show up at university because they get political people, some kind of walking and doing stuff for them. Especially when they were working with fraud and forgery. If ex-wife signed as me, that's forgery. Fraud means she's playing wives being divorced. It could be some other things. I am sick where I am not sick. It could be saying I left to one place where in reality I live in another place I never left. So it's a game for attorney to get approved. So they were looking for stupid attorneys who do not require physical presence. Most likely they were looking for those kind of attorneys, from what I see. Because normally attorneys need physical presence. So she was playing wife. And kind of find an attorney who doesn't want to talk and have physical presence. Or phone, who doesn't call on the phone. approve, but not calling on the phone, not verifying presence. Basically, trying to find stupid attorneys, some kind of with deficiency, trying to approve. That's what they were looking for. So that's pretty much shortly about those concerns that you might have. Hope it is more clear now.